This is Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate, the podcast where we cover home buying, home selling, home improvement tips and ideas, market trends and developments, and investing in real estate. If you own real estate in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, or want to own real estate here, then you're in the right place. Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate is hosted by Blake Watson, a real estate agent and investor in Tennessee and Georgia.
Welcome to Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate. I'm Blake Watson, a licensed agent in Tennessee and Georgia and brokered by Epique Realty. And today my guests are Eric McAllister, he's a real estate and home specialist, as well as Chad McAllister, the Director of Real Estate Development with Wayne's Pest Control. Great to have you guys today.
Thanks for having us.
Great to be here.
Welcome. Wayne's Pest Control. Tell me what that is.
Yep. So Wayne's Pest Control has been serving families across the southeastern part of the country for over half a century, actually going on 52 years now, providing world-class pest control service, termite protection for new construction and existing homes, and mosquito services in all of our markets. And in some markets, we even provide lawn treatment services as well.
Wow, lawn treatment. Not something I would have immediately thought about for pest control. That's cool.
Well, those weeds can be a pest too. So.
That's true. So let's talk about what are the most common things that someone would come to you for.
Yep. So the general pests, spiders, silverfish, earwigs, rodents. A lot of times with new construction, there used to be a lot of cornfields or cotton fields, and you're just disturbing their habitat. So they'll try to move into the home. And, when it gets really hot or dry outside, they're looking for a place just like we do to cool down and get a good drink of water. So what better place than your home to take up residence?
Well, I've noticed that as seasons change, that seems to be when I get the most bugs that come in. It seems like I've got these, I know they're not ladybugs, but they appear to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they come out of everywhere.
Yeah.
In the spring.
That's right.
Especially. And, well, maybe in the fall, too.
They do.
Yeah.
They're actually considered a fall invader. So
a fall invader, yeah. That's
so,
I've just remembered that, yeah.
Yeah, so all of those type situations we have a solution for, and very common issues all across the southeastern part of the country.
We are into summer. It's really just getting started later this week. And what sort of seasonal things do we need to be watching for?
This time of year, fire ants become a big problem.
Sure.
Spiders are always going to be an issue. So all of those type things that a lot of people think that it's seasonal. There are upticks of certain types of insects that you might notice throughout different seasons, but pests are an issue all the time. So, but right now, I would say it is those silverfish, earwigs, the wolf spiders, and the fire ants outside around the home. Yeah,
so I never would have thought to contact you guys for fire ants because I think, well, that's in the yard.
Right.
That's not an issue that you guys are going to handle. But you obviously do.
Right.
So that's great to know. So I could call you for fire ants.
Absolutely. And like I said, I mentioned the rodents too. We're one of the only companies in North America that provides a smart pest solution for early detection and monitoring for rodent control.
Really? When you say you're one of the only ones, so you're saying when I contact another service, they may not have this early...
They do not have the technology. So basically what it is a peer sensor that alerts us when there's activities, let's say in your attic. It alerts us when there is activity there so that we can use more sustainable solutions in controlling that.
Let's talk for a minute about the importance of pest control. I mean, I get it. If I see bugs in my house, I don't like that. But my impression is that they're not actually hurting anything. Why is it important to have pest control aside from just feeling better about no bugs in your house?
Yeah, well, health and protecting your asset. Mosquitoes we know carry disease, rodents, roaches, things like that can become serious problems. Termites cause more than hurricanes, tornadoes, and wildfires combined every single year in the U.S. alone. So, when it comes to protecting what most of us consider our most valuable asset, pest control is very important.
I hadn't thought about that. More than hurricanes, tornadoes, all the things that our home insurance keeps going up for.
That's right.
Hail, tornado,
that's right.
All that. And yet you're saying there's far more damage done by termites and I guess other pests
more than
as well.
$5 billion a year. That's billion with a B.
Wow. So what's the solution? Call you guys, I guess.
Call Waynes.com. Yeah. So we use a Centricon system, which is a colony elimination system that controls termites at the source, as opposed to some of the older dated methods with a liquid chemical treatment. So it's just a much more sustainable solution that's going to give you better control.
Now, give me some history on Wayne's Pest Control. And Eric, I know you are, I don't know if you're native, but you've been in Chattanooga a long time.
Correct.
How did Wayne's Pest Control come about in Chattanooga?
Yep. So we acquired another company. Like I said, we started in the Birmingham, Alabama area, and as we began to grow and serve more people, we started looking to acquire other business. So we acquired another pest control company in the market and introduced our culture and our world-class service methods, and that's how we got started here. Been in the Chattanooga market now, I want to say, for 3 years. 3 years.
3 years, yeah. And I've been seeing your trucks around. I mentioned that to you earlier.
Yeah.
So I knew that you were a newer company here in the Chattanooga market.
Right.
But as you just mentioned, you've been around for a long time.
Yep, going on 52 years.
Yeah, you definitely know the South and know the Southern pests.
Right.
Same same pests that we have here in Chattanooga are probably just down the road in Alabama a little
That's
bit.
right.
Too.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, so we serve all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee to the Panhandle of Florida. So a fairly large footprint, but there's a small variance of pests in different markets. But here in the Chattanooga area, it's your common household pests that truly are a pain. You just don't want to see a spider in the pantry or a rodent in the pantry when you're there in your home. So, and that's the same scenarios everywhere, wherever you go. It's the same type of pest. So, absolutely.
What are some good practices of a homeowner, a renter, if I'm renting a house? What are the things that I just can actively do aside from treatment that are going to be good to help me?
Yeah. Well, first, understanding that a pest control program is a partner between you and the company you choose. So a lot of that is good cultural practices within the home. So making sure that you're taking the trash out regularly. Don't leave. If you're going on vacation, don't forget to take the trash out. You might have ants in the dishwasher when you come back if you leave that sitting there. Outside around the home, for instance, bird baths that can collect water. Mosquitoes will harbor in those type of areas. So making sure that anything that can hold water is emptied, making sure that you're just keeping the house done up, because we can control the pest. But like I said, it is a partnership where the homeowner's doing their part as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that approach as a partner, because you're right. If I keep water out in a bird bath and never empty it, or don't take out my garbage, then you're really battling against something all by yourself as the treatment company.
Exactly.
And you're not getting any help from me.
Right.
That's not gonna go well for either one of us. But if I do my part, then you can come in and take care of the issues.
And exclusion work is very important too. We do offer some exclusion options, but just making sure that around the window sills that there's no gaps, because that caulking during once the home's been there for 15 years begins to crack. Just making sure that you're keeping those things the way they should be as well is going to help with keeping insects out of the home.
Let's focus on termites for a minute. As a realtor, it is something that we always look at for the transaction of a home, is making sure there are no active termites.
Right.
And also be aware of any potential termite damage to an existing home. What are some things we need to look for with termites?
Yeah, so when we go in and perform that inspection, of course, we have trained professionals that are looking for those mud tubes and things like that. But a few things to avoid is, let's just say, for instance, you have a fireplace or a burn pit outside, and you're keeping your firewood stacked against the home. That's a huge no-no. Don't do that. You're inviting termites into your home when you do that. Making sure that there's no wood-to-earth contact, that's going to help. But a few telltale signs of termites is those tiny little mud tubes. Termites are subterranean, and they will travel in mud tubes. In the springtime, early summer, they like to swarm. So if you ever see a bunch of little clear wings laying around in the window sills or in the floors, it's a potential termite swarm. It's always a good practice just to call out, give us a call, let's come out and check that out, because sometimes they can be mistaken for flying ants as well, but better safe than sorry. So it's good to have us come out and take a look at that.
Very true. Better safe than sorry. You mentioned not having a wood pile stacked up against your home. I have been in crawl spaces in homes where there's scrap wood left over from construction or whatever. There's just scraps left under the home in the crawl space. I know that's a no-no.
Absolutely.
Many people don't realize they have that, or wood to ground contact, as you mentioned. Are these the kind of things we should be looking for? Is that something you can identify, or what?
As a homeowner, if I were looking to purchase a home, or if I were going into new construction where it was a crawl space, I would definitely want to remove that, any type of wood or debris out from under the home. Because like I said, if there's an old 2x4 or something laying under there, which is not uncommon to see, it's creating a good environment for termites, even on slab homes. A lot of people ask the question, why, or will say, I have a slab home, why do I need a termite warranty? Well, a termite can slip through any crack that's just 1/32 of an inch gap. I was at a brand new home one time, and they had thrown out their cardboard packing boxes in the garage, and I just happened to move those boxes, and there was termites building mud tubes already under those boxes on a slab home in the garage. So, and that's why it's just not talked about like the hurricanes and tornadoes, like I mentioned, but termites are a real problem.
They sure are. What are unique situations that we deal with basements? Well,
basement is just like a crawl space. You want to make sure you do a thorough inspection there, simply because, as I mentioned, the termites around here are subterranean, and they're going to get into that basement. I always like to say it's not a matter of if, but when you have termites in the southeast if you don't have some type of protection plan in place. So it's just every year. You need to have that annual inspection performed so that if there are any type of potential avenues for termites, that you're eliminating that as soon as possible.
Now, as a homeowner, what would a typical program be that I might, and I realize you may have multiple levels, I don't know, but what would be a typical protection program that I would purchase from you?
Yeah, so when it comes to a Centricon, and it's depending, we have different things that we can do specifically for realtors. We have a fantastic real estate deal that we've worked out that the realtors can offer a warranty to their buyers and offer it to them at no charge as a housewarming gift, as a matter of fact. But retail, as a customer calling us, you're looking at an annual renewal, sometimes between that $350 to $400 range, and that is with the always active Centricon system that is going to eliminate the colony.
Eliminate the colony. I like that. And you obviously offer multiple products other than just termite.
That's right.
Coverage. So you might be able to add on, hey, we're going to make sure no other bugs get in your house.
That's right. So, with the variety of different services that we offer, we want to be able to, say you want to add pest control. We can work with you on that. The more you bundle, essentially, the more you're going to save. So we can build packages that is going to suit you and serve you best.
Now, do you serve both Georgia and Tennessee? And then I know you're in Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, of course.
Oh, and Florida. Yeah. Okay. What about if someone was just trying to look at a new property that they're going to buy? If they called you, what would you be doing?
Yeah, so if someone just purchased a property, if it's through real estate, of course, they're going to have that termite letter, a wood infestation report for closing, unless it's a cash offer. A lot of times they don't require that. However, I would recommend having that termite inspection done anyway for the peace of mind. With our real estate deal, we can issue that letter for $199. A termite warranty, it's not uncommon for it to cost $1,200 on average. But with our real estate deal for that $199, you can offer your client the Centricon system installed around their home and the first year's termite protection at that price. So for $199, you're getting all of that. So it's an instant $1,200-$1,500 savings right off the bat.
Re-explain that to me, because it sounds extraordinary.
Yeah,
I do want to know about
Well, it really is. So, a termite letter, you've got to have it for closing. So $199 with Wayne's Pest Control. That is going to come with the Centricon system, which is the termite treatment installed around the home, and it includes the first year's treatment. So as I mentioned earlier, that first year or that annual renewal could cost $350 to $400 on average, it's included in that price that you can offer your client as a housewarming gift from you.
Yeah.
So it's just a way for us to show our realtors that we appreciate them choosing Wayne's and give them something to offer their clients, showing that they care about the longevity of their investment.
How about that? That's a great plan. That really is. I appreciate you sharing that. I'm going to keep that in mind as something that I can offer for my clients when they're ready to sell or buy.
Well, we appreciate your business.
How long should we expect to wait if we call you?
Yeah, so we try to have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround time. If you're having a real serious issue, an emergency issue, we're not just looking at preventative pest control. We can get out there a lot of times the same day. I don't want to guarantee that every time. I want to be completely transparent, but we do try to have that 24 to 48 hour turnaround time.
That's very good, and that's very fair.
Yeah.
It's not usual that I have a termite emergency, but
Right.
It might be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It could be, and it might be a rodent emergency.
Right. A rodent emergency might be a little more of an emergency at my home. That's true. And you mentioned also more in the yard. I understand fire ants. Mm-hmm. They're clearly a pest, but you mentioned maybe some other services in the yard. What would they be?
Yep. So in the Chattanooga market specifically, we don't offer turf treatments. However, those fire ant treatments, any type of potential hazard that is considered pest control, will be happy to address that for you.
So animals, rodents would include there.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mosquitoes? I mean, is that?
Yeah, mosquitoes. That's that's a separate service line from what I would consider lawn. But if you're a person who likes to enjoy your lawn or sit out on the patio, mosquito treatments are a great benefit for you. Plus, it kind of gives you that peace of mind. Mosquitoes do carry diseases as well.
Sure.
But besides that, who wants to sit outside swatting at mosquitoes all evening?
Right. So what does that look like? How does that work? What do I expect to have happen?
Yeah. So as you would see a Wayne's technician show up at your home to provide a mosquito treatment, we use a fogging process. There's other methods out there that people use, misters and things like that, but mosquitoes harbor on the underneath side of the leaf foliages and things like that. So with the great part about a fogging type of method is you get lift and settlement. So you control mosquitoes where they harbor. So they're going to use a backpack fogger. You've seen maybe some fogging trucks that your municipality uses. Mm-hmm. It's the same concept, except it's a much smaller scale where they can get all the way around your property.
Okay. Let me ask you, how can people get in touch with you?
The best way is www.callwaynes.com. Go to our website directly, and they will direct you to the right person to the market that we serve.
Okay. It's Call Waynes.
Call Waynes. CALLWAYNES.com.
CallWaynes.com. Great. Eric and Chad, it's great to have y'all today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming and being on the show and representing Wayne's Pest Control.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm Blake Watson, agent with Epique Realty. My mobile phone is 423-315-1815. My brokerage office phone is 888-893-3537. You'll find me on Facebook and LinkedIn as Blake Watson and on Instagram as Rock and Roll Blake. My website is realestatebyblake.com. If you're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, or any of the other podcast apps, I ask you to share this podcast with a friend and follow this podcast so you won't miss an episode. Now I look forward to talking with you next week on Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate.